Canada's silent immigration crackdown. Record 2.3 million visa rejections spark outrage. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Major changes in Canada's immigration system are leaving millions shocked and frustrated. In 2024, a record-breaking 2.3 million visa applications were denied, affecting students, workers, and visitors worldwide. At the same time, thousands of people already in Canada are facing uncertainty as the government quietly ramps up deportations, sending waves of fear through immigrant communities. Is Canada still the land of opportunity, or is it closing its doors to the world? What's driving this sudden shift? And how is it impacting families, businesses, and the economy? Today, we're breaking down the numbers, the reasons, and the real-world consequences of Canada's immigration crackdown. But that's not all. Stay with us until the end because we'll be diving into one of the most urgent and controversial aspects of this crisis, the surge in deportations and what it means for thousands of people who call Canada home. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Canada Chronicles and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on this developing story. Let's get started. Canada's changing immigration landscape. Canada has long been recognized as a global leader in immigration, a country known for welcoming people from all backgrounds who seek a better future. For decades, students have filled its classrooms, skilled workers have driven innovation, and families have built new lives in its communities. Canada's immigration system has been widely praised for its accessibility and policies designed to attract and retain talent. But now, something is shifting. Beneath the surface, a silent immigration crackdown is unfolding. Recent statistics show that in 2024 alone, Canada denied 2.3 million temporary resident applications, a shocking increase that has left countless applicants devastated. These rejections include study permits, work visas, and visitor visas, marking one of the most dramatic shifts in immigration policy in recent history. For those watching Canada's immigration trends, this surge in denials raises serious questions. Why has the government suddenly tightened its policies? Is this truly about housing affordability, economic stability, and public services, or is there more at play? And how does this impact the millions of people around the world who once saw Canada as their best hope for a better life? The numbers behind the crackdown. The dramatic increase in visa rejections has affected nearly every category of temporary residency. The rejection rate for visitor visas skyrocketed from 40% in 2023 to 54% in 2024, meaning that over 1.95 million visitor visa applicants were denied entry into Canada. International students, who have historically been prioritized in Canada's immigration system, have been hit hard. The study permit approval rate dropped from 60% in 2023 to 54% in 2024, with 290,317 applications denied. Many students had already been accepted into Canadian institutions, only to find their plans suddenly derailed. Work permits, another crucial category for Canada's labor force, saw a 22% rejection rate in 2024, resulting in 115,549 denied applications. While slightly lower than the 23% refusal rate in 2023, fewer people are applying due to fear of rejection and the financial risks of non-refundable application fees. These numbers have sparked frustration and uncertainty, especially as rejection letters often provide little explanation. With limited options for appeal, many applicants are left in limbo, unsure of their next steps. Why is Canada tightening immigration? The Canadian government has defended the crackdown by pointing to three main issues: housing affordability, economic pressures, and public service strain. Housing prices and rental costs have surged across the country, particularly in Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. Officials argue that increasing immigration levels are placing too much demand on an already overheated market, making homeownership even more out of reach for Canadians. By limiting new arrivals, the government claims it is taking steps to cool the housing crisis and make housing more accessible. Public services are also under strain. Hospitals are experiencing longer wait times and staff shortages, classrooms are overcrowded, and public transit in major cities is at full capacity. Some officials argue that reducing immigration will help stabilize these essential services, allowing the country to expand its infrastructure before welcoming more newcomers. Economic concerns have also played a role. Policymakers believe that reducing work permit approvals will help protect Canadian workers, ensuring they have access to jobs before positions are given to foreign workers. However, business leaders across multiple industries warn that these policies are creating labor shortages, which could harm Canada's economy in the long run. Contradictions in policy. Why are more temporary residents allowed to stay? While the government is making it harder for new applicants to enter Canada, it is simultaneously allowing record numbers of temporary residents to extend their stay. More than 320,000 individuals whose visas were set to expire in 2024 were granted visitor record extensions, permitting them to remain in Canada legally, but without work or study rights. The number of applications for these extensions has doubled since 2019, reaching nearly 390,000 submissions in 2024. Critics argue that this contradicts the government's claim that it is reducing temporary residency numbers. Instead, it is creating a growing population of people who are legally present but unable to work, forcing many into precarious financial situations. Some turn to under-the-table jobs, leaving them vulnerable to exploitation. The financial cost of rejection. Many experts argue that Canada's immigration crackdown isn't just about policy, it's also about money. Every visa application comes with a non-refundable fee, meaning that even if an applicant is denied, the government still profits. In 2024 alone, Canada generated $707.9 million in visa application fees, with a staggering $354 million coming from rejected applications. This has sparked outrage among applicants, many of whom spend years saving money for visa applications, only to be rejected with little explanation. Immigration lawyers are calling for greater transparency in the application process, demanding that rejected applicants receive clear reasons for denial and fair opportunities for appeal. The business backlash. Labor shortages and economic consequences. Canada's business community is already feeling the impact of immigration restrictions. Many industries depend on foreign workers to fill critical labor shortages, including healthcare, technology, construction, manufacturing, and agriculture. Hospitals and long-term care facilities rely on immigrant doctors, nurses, and caregivers to support Canada's aging population. With fewer work permits being approved, these institutions are struggling to fill positions, leading to longer wait times for patients and heavier workloads for healthcare professionals. Canada has already been experiencing a healthcare worker shortage, and immigration restrictions are worsening the crisis, making it harder to recruit and retain medical staff. The technology sector, which has positioned Canada as a global innovation hub, is struggling to attract international talent. Many tech companies rely on skilled workers from abroad, and the immigration crackdown is making it harder to fill key roles. Some businesses are even considering moving operations elsewhere due to the restrictive policies. Experts warn that if Canada continues tightening immigration, the country risks losing its competitive edge in the global tech economy. The agricultural industry, which depends on seasonal foreign workers, is also facing severe labor shortages, leading to reduced crop production and rising food costs. Farmers who rely on temporary foreign workers for planting, harvesting, and processing agricultural goods are struggling to meet production demands. With fewer available workers, farms are producing less, leading to higher grocery prices for Canadian consumers. Small and medium-sized businesses, which make up the backbone of Canada's economy, are also struggling to find workers due to stricter immigration rules. Restaurants, retail stores, and service-based businesses have historically relied on temporary foreign workers and newcomers transitioning to permanent residency to fill essential positions. With fewer approved work permits, business owners are reporting shorter operating hours, reduced services, and even permanent closures due to an inability to find staff. Many are calling on the government to implement sector-specific immigration policies that reflect the actual labor needs of different industries rather than imposing broad restrictions that hurt businesses across the board. The construction industry, which is essential for addressing Canada's housing crisis, has also been impacted by the restrictions. The country desperately needs more skilled tradespeople such as carpenters, electricians, and plumbers to build housing and infrastructure. However, reduced work permit approvals and delays in processing applications have made it harder for companies to hire much-needed labor. Without enough skilled workers, construction projects are delayed, housing shortages persist, and affordability worsens, ironically counteracting one of the government's key reasons for restricting immigration in the first place. Across industries, business leaders are warning that without a more strategic approach to immigration, Canada risks stifling economic growth, reducing productivity, and falling behind global competitors. Many are urging policymakers to adopt a more data-driven, industry-specific approach to immigration, ensuring that businesses get the workers they need while balancing economic and social concerns. Thanks for staying with us this far. We appreciate your time and hope you're finding this information valuable. Now, let's dive into one of the most urgent and controversial aspects of Canada's immigration crackdown: the record number of deportations and the growing fear among immigrant communities. Between January and November 2024, Canada deported 7,300 individuals, marking an 8.4% increase over 2023 and a 95% increase over 2022. Nearly 79% of those deported were individuals whose refugee claims had been denied. The fear among immigrant communities is growing. Many who are still legally in Canada worry they will be next, as even minor visa infractions are now leading to deportation orders. What does this mean for Canada's future? Will the country continue down this restrictive path, or will public pressure push for change? The debate is far from over. We want to hear from you. Is this crackdown necessary, or is Canada making a mistake? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video informative, like, share, and subscribe to Canada Chronicles. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching Canada Chronicles, and we'll see you in the next video.